Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, The No Central. Now for today's episode, we will be talking about one of the many philosophies of education, and that is pragmatism. Now dating around 1870, pragmatism as a philosophical tradition began in the United States. Charles Sanders Peirce, William James, John Dewey, and George Herbert Mead are the known proponents of this philosophy. And together, they stand in a movement against traditional philosophies like realism and idealism, which is based on too much speculation, making it very difficult to verify. Now, why is it called pragmatism? This is because it derived from the Greek word pragma, meaning action, work, or activity. In other words, pragmatism means practice and action, or it has something to do with utility. And according to this American philosophy, whatever is good is useful, and whatever is useful is good. And as mentioned by one great philosopher, he said, pragmatism offers us a theory of meaning, a theory of truth of knowledge, and a theory of reality. Now, just like other philosophies, pragmatism too has its own principles. Like, experience is a central idea in pragmatism. There are no absolute values of life. Action is real and ideas are tools. Man is an active being. Man has the ability to solve his problems. Utilitarian aspect is supreme. Past has little value and present plus future are more important. Sounds a lot, right? In fact, this philosophy is divided into three forms. We have biological, humanist, and experimental. So according to humanist pragmatism, things or principles are true if they satisfy the needs and aspirations of human beings and cater the welfare of the humankind. On the other hand, biological pragmatism refers to power or capacity of a human being which is valuable and important. As to experimental pragmatism, this ideology states that a thing or a principle is true if it can be verified through an experiment. Now, what about pragmatism in terms of education? Well, it stands for freedom and worth of the individual. It works on the principle of democracy and education as a social necessity. Therefore, by this thought, it is somehow expected for schools to help an individual to meet the human needs and solve problems, and thereby enable an individual to lead a happy life. Number 1. New values. Pragmatism has no fixed aims or goals of education, but according to a philosopher, Ross, the general education aim of pragmatism is creation of new set of values. 2. Activity and experience. Activities and experiences are very essential to create the new set of values. Therefore, the educational system aims to providing the learner physical, intellectual, moral, and aesthetic activities. 3. Personal and social adjustment. Pragmatism lays stress on an individual solving problems of life. Hence, the aim of education should be the formulation and cultivation of the dynamic, adaptable, resourceful, and enterprising mind. Last, but definitely not the least, all-round development. The most important aim of education is all-round development. An individual must develop physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, morally, and aesthetically. Pragmatic curriculum is framed according to the following principles. Principles of dynamism and flexibility. Principle of utility, as in subjects like language, literature, physical education, hygiene, history, geography, sociology, psychology, and others. Priority is given to social sciences to make the students good, cooperative, and useful citizens. Natural sciences come next. Principle of activity and experience, like agriculture, woodcrafting, and industrial sciences.
The real thing is, this philosophy is pro-modernized. It is a big no-no to outdated, lifeless, and rigidly traditional methods of teaching.
Your methods of teaching shall be formulated on the basis of the following principles. Principles of purposive process of learning. Principle of learning by doing. Project method by Kilpatrick, and also experimental method, which also encourages discussion as a method of laboratory work. Pragmatism sounds perfect, right? But just like the other philosophies of education, it also has its limitations. Little attention to spiritual values. Too much attention on material things. Insignificant place to cultural values. Offers heavy demands on teachers. Ignores the knowledge accumulated through the ages. Now, teachers, let me ask you these questions. Are you not a dictator but only a leader of a group? Do you have knowledge of students' interests and provide them social environment? Do you believe in democratic values? Do you have knowledge of social conditioning? Don't you overshadow the personality of the pupils? Do you give importance to your child rather than the books? If yes, then welcome to the world of pragmatism.
And that's it, everyone, for today's episode. Once again, this is the Know Now Central.